My hands just killed the kindest person in my town, and now they want my best friend. There's a quiet hum behind my eyes, a low-voltage thrum that tells me the pilot is awake. I wish I was still paralyzed. God, I wish they'd just left me in that bed. The hospital doors slid shut behind me, and the autumn air was so clean it felt like a slap. A perfect day. Orange and yellow leaves skittered across the pavement like happy little crabs. My feet, not my own, carried me down the sidewalk. Inside my skull, I was a ghost, a screaming passenger in a machine made of my own meat and bone. I tried to fight it. I tried to dig my heels in, to make my legs buckle. Nothing. It was like screaming into a vacuum. The pilot just kept walking, smooth and efficient, turning me into the one place I knew would be empty on a day like this. The old video rental store. A dusty mausoleum of dead media. The little bell over the door chirped. The air smelled of old plastic and Mrs. Anaheed's rosewater perfume. My body moved down the comedy aisle, then horror, then drama. A systematic sweep. I saw no one. A small, stupid spark of hope flickered in my chest. Maybe it just wanted to be alone. Maybe it was just taking me for a walk. Then I heard the thump of a box hitting the floor from behind the counter. My head swiveled, a movement too fast, too precise for a human. There she was, Mrs. Anaheed, her back to me, humming a song from the old country while she unpacked a shipment of dusty DVDs someone had probably donated. She was a tiny woman with knuckles swollen from a life of hard work and a smile that could melt permafrost. Leave. Just turn around and leave. Please. I begged the thing wearing my skin. It ignored me. It took a deliberate step toward her. She heard the footfall and turned, her face breaking into that familiar, warm smile. Oren, my boy. Just the person. My back is killing me. Could you help me with these? Her voice was gravelly and kind. She didn't see the predator. She just saw me. The boy who used to rent cartoons every Saturday. The boy who helped her carry her groceries last week. My pleas became a frantic, silent shriek. Run. Please, God, make her run. But she just wiped her hands on her apron, her trust a blinding light. I'll give you a free rental. Any movie you The words died in her throat. My hands, my own fucking hands, shot out and grabbed the solid brass bell off the counter. The one shaped like a little ship that she kept for decoration. My arm swung in a clean, brutal arc. The sound wasn't a crack. It was a wet, heavy thud, like a melon hitting concrete. She dropped without a sound. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't look away. My body stood over her for a moment, then it did something new. Something that chilled me deeper than the murder. My right hand rose, fingers held stiffly together. It tapped my temple once, my jaw twice, then drew a short, sharp line in the air. A report. Objective complete. My stomach heaved, but nothing came up. Then, the pilot walked me out. The bell didn't jingle on my way out. The beautiful, terrible afternoon sun hit my face. Across the street was Mama Anya's bakery. The parking lot was full. My uncle's ugly green bicycle was chained to the rack out front. A fresh wave of nausea washed over me. No, not there. Not them. My legs crossed the street. I prayed for a car to run the light. I prayed for a stray bullet, a heart attack, an aneurysm. Anything. Nothing happened. The universe just watched. A guy in a stained t-shirt was smoking by the door. I braced myself. I thought this was it, a random act of violence. But my body walked right past him, indifferent. It had a plan. It didn't do random. The warm, sweet smell of the bakery wrapped around me as I stepped inside. It was the smell of every birthday, every holiday, every small town celebration. The smell of home. The scent was poison now. I saw 7, maybe 8 people at the tables. My Uncle Lev was at the counter, laughing with Mama Anya. She was showing him a tray of freshly glazed donuts. Her face was creased with joy. She was the town's heart. Everyone loved her. The pilot didn't attack. It was smarter than that. My body moved with a casual grace past the counter, my hand darting out to palm the small set of keys sitting next to my uncle's elbow, his bike keys. My mind raced. It's going to steal his bike? That's it? The relief was so sharp it was painful, but the relief curdled into pure dread as I walked back outside. I didn't go for the bike. I went for the heavy, U-shaped lock I'd bought him for Christmas. My fingers, nimble and sure, unlocked it. I felt the weight of it in my hand. Cold, solid steel. My body turned, not to the bike rack, but back to the bakery door. The glass door with the two big vertical handles. I saw it then. I saw the whole fucking thing unfold a second before it happened. I walked to the door. I slid the steel U-bar through both handles, trapping them together. My hand twisted the lock into place. A loud final click echoed in the quiet afternoon. A death sentence delivered. Now what? My inner voice was ragged, weak. The pilot didn't answer. It turned me around and my head began to scan the area, back and forth like a security camera, searching. Then it stopped, locked on. Behind the bakery, next to the dumpster, was the groundskeeper's shed, and sitting just outside it, a red plastic jerry can. Oh God. Oh no, no, no. It felt like I was drowning. My body walked over, picked up the can, and unscrewed the cap. The sharp chemical stink of gasoline filled my nostrils. I walked back to the front of the bakery, to the big picture windows. I started pouring. I used to water the flower boxes for Mama Anya. She said I had a gentle hand. Now, that same gentle hand was dousing those same boxes, the wood siding, the welcome mat, with gasoline. She saw me. Through the window, she looked up from the counter. She smiled that huge, wonderful smile and gave me a little wave. She thought I was watering her petunias. My face, my own traitor face, smiled and waved back. I screamed at her. I screamed at them all. Get out, the door is locked. Break the windows. But it was all inside. A silent movie of horror playing behind my eyes. They couldn't see the ghost in the machine. They just saw Oren, the nice boy, tending the flowers. My hand went into my pocket. I knew what it was looking for before my fingers touched the cold metal. The Zippo my dad gave me when I turned 16. Engraved with my initials. I flicked it open. The flame sparked to life, a tiny orange devil. My body tossed it into the puddle of gasoline by the door. The whoosh of the ignition was deafening. A wall of fire erupted, consuming the front of the building in a hungry roar. My body didn't flinch, it just stood there, watching. I heard the first scream, then more, then a heavy thud against the door. And another, stronger one. They were trying to break it down. Uncle Lev, I bet. He was a strong man. I saw his shape through the flames and the smoke, a frantic silhouette against the glass. He looked right at me. His mouth was open, a black shape of terror and confusion. Then the smoke swallowed him. The thudding got slower, weaker. Then it stopped. The only sounds left were the crackle and roar of the fire and the howling void inside my own head. Their screams will never leave me. They're the background track to whatever is left of my life. I would have walked into that fire. I would have thrown myself in to burn with them. But the pilot wasn't done with me. It turned my body away from the inferno, from the tomb I had just created for my friends, for my family. And it started walking down the street, as calm as if it were just heading home after a day's work. The methodical, rhythmic pace of my own feet on the pavement was the most obscene thing I had ever experienced. We walked for a long time. The silence in my head was a relief, a tiny, shitty break from the terror. But it never lasts. The dread always comes back. It came back when my body stopped. When I smelled stale beer and bleach, I didn't have to look up. I knew where I was. I knew this part of town. I knew that smell. My heart collapsed in on itself. Across the street, the neon sign of the Rusty Mug glowed weakly in the late afternoon light. My best friend's bar. And judging by the number of beat-up trucks in the lot, the whole crew was in there. All of them. My friends. My only real friends in this world. I felt a new command ripple through my nerves, a cold sense of purpose. The hum behind my eyes got a little louder. The pilot was getting ready for its next task.